Hello there. In this video I want to show a bit of my building process because I've just deconstructed the Thunderbird 1 and now I want to build the Razor Crest from the Mandalorian video series. So what I would usually do, like if I have the picture over here, then if I look at the ship, there are some interesting or difficult to build. Usually I would start building with the most difficult thing. So if I go to if I look at the ship, I think the engines are they have a quite particular shape. Also the front hull here over here, and just in general the shape of the ship here, these round curves, they are difficult to make. Everything round is difficult, but the harder the edge, the easier it is, especially in gray, because well, I have a lot of gray. I just counted them and there's 150 of these 3D connectors in the Thunderbird. So that's a lot of them. Also, of course, what is important is here the ground part. The landing gear, it retracts and gets out again. And I really want to give a try to make that work somehow. Or if you can do it manually or with a small lever, that would be really cool, because well, I love mechanisms. Also these blaster cannons or whatever they are in the front would be nice to have made. I think I'll be using these as the tip. They look quite well if you stick them to a rod, something like this, then you have quite realistic. Maybe I can zoom in here, this part over here. With a bit of imagination you can find this, and this would be wider with, I don't know, something like this, or maybe some cones. I have two gray ones, so maybe I would use those. But yeah, the cockpit would be hard to make because, as you can see, there's a lot of round shapes here, and yeah, but now I want to give a go at these engines because I think they look cool, and yeah, so I'll keep this at here for reference, and then I'll just start building. I think I'm gonna need some black connectors, and well, there's also 150 I think 156 black Y clips and 10 gray ones or silver ones. So I have a lot to work with, and then I will be working on that. But since I think the model is going to be quite big, at least such size, so I have to still determine the scale of everything. But yeah, it could be that this piece right here determines the scale. So yeah, then I'm at least looking at what is it, maybe 50 centimeters, 50 centimeters long, and then the engines, they would be like this big, more or less, like 8 to 10 centimeters. No, 8 centimeters. I don't know in inches, guys, sorry, I don't work with inches. I guess that's 2 or 3 inches, since given an inch is 2.5 centimeters, more or less, give or take. So and the length, 40 divided by 2.5 would be 10 for the 16 inches long. Then, well, there you go, I did the math. Let's start building. I don't know how this will go, because well, there will be moments that I shut up and I'm thinking, so I never did this before. It's kind of, well, it's not scary, but easy to do is something else. So I love I love Y clips, so I'm gonna use those in the most part. And I mean, this is just what I have here laying around from the old ship. And as you can see here, there's the air intake, and it has this round shape. So I'm looking at this piece and I think, okay, if I stack them around, they form this shape, and you still have the inlet. So usually what I would do is grab these, maybe 2 of them, oh, that one was a little too enthusiastic. And then you have a rod, this little cone, 2 at each other, this one in the back, maybe turn it around so I can move it. And if you can see, this is a trick I use more often. Come on, cooperate. This one, but now this one. Yeah, now I can turn them around. So this is the normal 8-way connector position. If I change them, what is it? Not 45, this is 45 degrees, so the half of that. 22.5 degrees. Yeah. I can put a rod everywhere over here. And it fits perfectly. As you can see, alright, I mean, there's almost no friction going around. And then on the side I can just add these. And it will create a round shape with a bit of imagination. And if I do it here as well, hey, I have the 8 centimeters that I wanted. And I think that's a good shape. So I think I will stick with this. Maybe if I look at the interior inside, there's maybe like a fan that's turning around or something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe I think also a wheel fits in here perfectly. So I might add that. Maybe let me grab one because I have one around. That was the piece falling on the ground. So I have these wheels, the black one, the silver one. If I look at the ship, I think this one looks good enough. So actually I can remove it and just put it on, and that will also help to align these things. So now I don't have enough of these 2-way connectors, but I think the engine will look something like this. So now I will try, because my attention span is really short. You wouldn't say, but it is. I know myself. So I'm like, okay, yeah, this works. Yeah, that's problem solved. Well, I mean, the problem isn't solved, but now I would move to another difficult part. Maybe the rear engine section, or this would be, I would be like, oh yeah, I'll figure this out later. It's not the hardest part, but for example, just I would start building the hull by itself. Given the fact that it's gray or silver, and it has a lot of straight edges. I would like to make this section here, for example, like from here to there, like that. That would be interesting, and so I'll try to do that. So again, I would start with these guys and maybe some white clips. No, not yet. And also you have different ways of building, right? Like now I could build like this, but this is not very strong. Like this connection can easily break. So a little building tip, I would switch it around and then build like this, and now it's stronger in both directions. So like, and that also makes like this less black to see, because of ideally you want the whole ship to be the perfect color. So in the corner, what I would do, I don't know, I'm improvising it, guys. So this is roughly the edge that I'm working on here. Now I need to go up. So now I need to create this angle over here. So something like this. And how am I going to do that? I don't know. As you will see, often I'm just trying things out. Come on. Well, for example, this. Triangles are good, triangles are your friend. It's getting close, it's not perfect, and this line is not where it should be. But at least I have some corner over there. So I try to continue working with this, and then we'll see. Or what you can always do is adding more Y clips. So to have a bit of integrity, I would start building something like this, because this moves around and it changes shape, and you don't want that. That's annoying. Then I have stronger section. I don't know if this will be okay. Probably not. Yeah. I don't see. I need more time to think about this. Is there something else we can work on? The round shape over here. Okay. Well, in the worst case, you could just use. I mean, this is round. It's not a very round thing. But what I could do, which would look nice, is, well, it's sort of the same size, right? One engine would fit here. So what I think is, if we have a bottom like this, and we start like this, I can you always have to like play with the scale and stuff like that. This is how I would start on one side, and this on the other side. Then again some strength. If you look closely, come on, go away. If you could look closely, then you will already see a shape is taking shape. A shape is taking shape. The front curve. So, but now I need to fill in these gaps because, I mean, gaps are ugly. Sorry, no offense to you, gaps. Or maybe I do want to offend you. And I could, if I wanted, add in a flexi rod, but then you would see a lot of orange, and I don't want that. I mean, there's no orange present here, so no orange this time. Now I'm thinking like, okay, how can I put these in so that they start at the bottom at the same level? So ideally I would like to have two, so maybe something like this, because I mean the bottom you don't see it, so it could be like this, in between, everywhere. Let's see, I don't like that. You see there's two tones of grey. This is a bit brownish and this is more greyish. I don't like the brown here. I mean, in the videos you barely notice it, but I don't like it. And also, I remember from the series, don't fall down, there is this, I think this is the flap, the loading ramp on the side, and you have the loading ramp in the back. So I was a bit scared, like, oh, maybe it's already here, but it takes maybe 2 or 3 more of these 3D connectors before I get to the ramp. But I remember that over here in the bottom is the foot, the landing foot, so maybe I would have to make a mechanism that that works with that, because I really want to do that. I think it looks cool, and I don't know how possible it is to make, but I'll do my best. So I think this would be nice, and then I can start working upwards. Maybe something like this. No. Y-clip. When in doubt, use a Y-clip. Yeah, these are really, they are my favorite parts. And you can do so much with them. Okay, that's a bit too wide, I guess. So, no. And this one is too loose, so I will use another one and just see if that's better. Still bad. I think I used them in some place in the Thunderbird, and this is better. And now if you put them over here and over here, then there is some space in here which I could fill in with these ugly blue spacers. So I'm not going to do that yet. But then there is this shape around it, so I'm going to try to make that with these guys, but it's quite narrow and thin. So as you can see, it doesn't completely line up, but okay. maybe... Nah, this is too ugly. What I can do also... What I can do is put this over here. Then again we have some integrity of the hull. When I say integrity, I mean just that it's a bit stronger. Just using some fancy words, I guess. Sorry, not sorry. So what is going on inside the ship isn't so important. Usually it's more about it being strong and yeah, I mean, you can see here that this shape is rounded. Well, I don't have a lot of space here to make it round, so I'm just going to use something else. Actually, they look like this is some sort of a rod, and it looks like this. Ideally I would use a blue rod, but yeah, they are blue. So, and they are darker, so I would go with this one instead. And then, yeah, maybe I can fill it up like this. But then I need silver in the middle. But I just remember that we have these. And I guess they fit through here. Again, also these guys have 2 tones of gray. Yeah, I think that was a wrong one. This one is okay. And then I can fit that in, and it's not going to move because it's stuck in place here. Well, this is just me being very lucky, you know. But as you can see, there are 2, I don't know what they are, 2 round things, and I'm like, okay, I want those round things, so why not turn those around, if possible. No, that's too much. No, that's too big. Or maybe. And then fit it over here. Look. But now, I don't know, maybe it looks a bit funny. I don't really like it. I think it's better if there's some rod sticking out with, I don't know what on top, or maybe this. This also works. Having these in the background, yeah, that could do. If I would have them over here, and then maybe I'm looking, okay, this will go back to around here. So if I make something like this or something like this, then I can use these guys. This is too much. Again, we use a Y clip, and then I'm in the right space. Hey, like this, and then where is it? Wow. This is how I build. So I'm like, oh, I want this thing over here, and then I just try to get there with some Y clips. Again, I used my other gray one over here, so I have to deconstruct this, but I remember how that works. So. But still, I'm not completely satisfied, because it's a bit too long, and it sticks out a little bit. And then also this is more difficult to fit on top of it, but then we don't have the holes again here anymore, so we just change that back to how it was, like this. We stick it on top, and there we go, and it's more or less secure in place, more or less. Again, everything with with some imagination you can get there. Now I want to have some fill-ups here, so this could work. Now I do choose to make it like this, because this gap is small. I will have to go with that. I don't have a lot of choice sometimes. Now this fills in the holes nicely, and this is still in the same level, so I'm going to replace this with this connector, and then 2 pins, and then I have this part over here, and this fits in nicely. It doesn't move too much. I mean, yeah, it rattles, but okay. And now I need to fill in this gap. How am I going to do that? Maybe something that's too tight to fit in here. I mean, I could do like that. That would fit. But then I don't have any attachment to the top. But what I could do, I mean, look at this. Yeah, it's a bit difficult. I could try. So I'm going to make a ball out of this. 2 things over here. Blue rod. Stick it in here. No, this will connect to here, so it's not good enough. But I'm not done trying. Maybe something like this. That's better. But I think it will end up too wide.